So welcome back to more Mega Man 6, and we're gonna take on Mr. X himself. I also like this tower structure, or this whole architecture, even though that X in the front's very imposing. So let's see, what we gotta do first is climb this tower. I also do like the background with the stars and everything, like they have different ones, and then the moon. That's one thing the later NES games did a really good job of, is just filling out backgrounds more, and then just adding a bunch of good little things to this game. So let's see, what I'm doing here is just trying to make my way up. And this stage does test, or all these after the 8 stages test your ability to switch weapons on the fly, and then there is going to be a lot of switching weapons because this game is constantly throwing new things at you. Well, not new things, you've seen them before, but stuff that you do have to adapt to constantly. And here's another one of those alternate pathways. So I'm gonna try and get this. Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble making that today. So let's try this again. Pretty easy to jump too high and hit the spike. Well, let's see if that's still there when it's gone, or when I come back. Okay, well that works. That wasn't exactly the proper way to do it, but let's just go ahead and get over here. Yeah, you can tell there's probably going to be a lot of close calls today. Then again, this is my second time recording it because I screwed up something in my Bandicam settings. Then again, I might just upload that one anyway. We'll have to see. And, see, really all this is grasshoppers and a lot of good stuff. Plenty of power-ups to work with here. And even an extra life, too. Yeah, they probably figured that you were gonna end up dying quite a few times on that part trying to get that, or trying to get to here. But it is well worth it. So here we are at the first boss. And this is 2 things that like to ride on a track. So let's see, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one locked up between this corner, or between these 2 turns. And then do the same thing for this one. You can use the plant barrier or the rush power, I just like the rush power better. Well, that is the end of stage 1. So now, stage 2 is going to offer a bit more straight line platforming. But at the same time, there is plenty of spikes you have to worry about. And plenty of metals to worry about. And yeah, the way they make this part challenging is by having a bunch of narrow spaces, having a bunch of enemies, and then having a bunch of spikes. Because this game definitely likes to use spikes later on. In case you couldn't already tell. Or if you've already played this, one of those 2. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. And yeah, I'm just gonna cheese my way through this part because it is doable, but at the same time, Rush Jet is really your best friend here. So let's just go ahead and get our way across. And yeah, this is what I meant when I said I'm constantly gonna be switching across weapons. And let's see, here you just have to worry about not falling. Of course, anytime there's spikes, you obviously know there's a trap in there somewhere. And that was actually a lot closer to death than that needed to be. Alright, whatever, I'm just going. So let's just get going here. And yeah, the tricky part about this is that, once again, you have your narrow spaces and you have a bunch of enemies to work with, or contend with. But overall, this stage really isn't that tough. It's actually very short, if you take all the platforming into account. Anyways, I'm dodging later. Here we are at the boss. And yeah, the bosses for these Mr. X stages are a little bit different, but I mean, it's not like they're themed or anything. They're just a bunch of robots. Let's see, what I gotta do is avoid rocks, and then shoot this guy with a tomahawk. And I slid right into that one. And, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this boss fight, but it is really tricky with the, and disorienting with the... Damn it, why can't I hit him? It is tricky with the... Finally. It is really tricky because of, the constant shaking in the ground, and also the rocks and the shots. So many things on the screen at once. But yeah, that's probably the one boss I have the most trouble with out of these stages. But fortunately, he's done with. I guess because I'm just not good at figuring out the trajectory of the tomahawks. And I really gotta refill that thing. Anyway, you get your choice of paths here, and then the first one is kind of a schmuck bait, where they just close you off here. But at least you get an energy tank out of it, so that was nice of them. Let's see, how do I want to go about doing this? Yeah, I'll probably just slide and get that, and then just rush power my way out. So what I gotta do is just use Rush Jet, get up here. And fortunately the enemies here aren't too tough. You just have to worry about their placement more than anything. And this is another stage loaded with instant death hazards. So let's just keep going here. And you got these platforms again. And I actually do like the level design of these stages. I mean, they are tough without being too tough, or they're not easy, but at the same time they're not incredibly hard. I mean, it's something you'd already know if you played all the 6 NES games. So let's just keep going here. And you respawn. Okay, that was actually a lot closer than that needed to be. But yeah, here's your narrow spaces at work again. And unfortunately my commentary is running a little bit dry today just because I am kind of off to a slow start today. And this is another one of those alternate pathways. And unfortunately I'm doing too much of that play-by-play thing again. But at the same time, some of the things with these Mega Man games, I'm kind of at a point where I just want to get some of them done. Like, you know, at the end of the week where they're just trying to work on some more stuff, or you just want to get things done. But then again, it is Labor Day tomorrow. I'll probably just upload this then. Also, my schedule is going to be a lot different, so I'm not going to be pumping out like 1 LP a week again. I mean, anymore. I just don't think that's going to be feasible. But at the same time, I should be able to at least have a steady rate of stuff to give you guys. Speaking of which, I should probably finish that blooper video at some point. That's the problem with Little Ninja Brothers, is I just haven't gotten time to put all that stuff together. I mean, I've already recorded like the password stuff, but that's really about it. Let's see, for this part I want to use the Blizzard attack. So here we get a Metul and a console. And again, you have to wonder how intelligent these things are if they can operate like this kind of machinery. But what I'm doing here is just jumping and shooting with a Blizzard attack. Pretty self-explanatory. So let's just finish this guy off. You know what, I'm just gonna use the Mega Buster here. Might as well just do it the easy way, why not? So that is it for Mr. X Stage 3. And we are approaching the end of Mr. X's castle. So I don't get how that somehow goes outside of the castle. But then again, what do I know about designing castles? And again, I'm not some billionaire who's, or not some bearded billionaire who's trying to host an international robot tournament. But, let's see here, I'm just taking care of some guys. No big deal. I mean, those spikes can be a bit, I guess, intimidating, but at the same time, they're really not that big a deal. So let's just get going here. Let's see, this part's a little bit tricky because it is pretty easy to get tricked into sliding into those spikes. And it turned out I ended up refilling Blizzard Attack. Let's see, let's just get rid of you, and you, and you. Let's see, I just want to make these slides. Yeah, I do want to get Silver Tomahawk back, just because it is a very useful weapon. And also, we're gonna need it later on. Also, one thing you can do with these, egg-generating machines is that you can cut them off at the source by punching a block in there. And then no more birds spawn from there. Cruel? Yes. Necessary? Yes. Oh gosh, the birds are trying to get me back now. Let's see, let's just wait for them. And see, I just need to get through this little part that's pretty similar to one of those sections in Mega Man 3. And here you get one of your alternate pathways again. See, the one on the right features some platforming and a bunch of cowboy robots. So I'm just gonna go up. And see, we just get to deal with a bunch of these guys. Yeah, whoa. Good thing I had Rush Jet on me. That's a good thing about Rush Jet in this game is that it's such a great insurance policy compared to the other Rush Jets. Let's see, let's just wait for you. Just like so. And we're just gonna wait for you again. Well, at least they were generous enough to give me an extra life here. Guessing Mr. X was just feeling pretty arrogant this day, or today. Probably figured that Mega Man was gonna have a lot of problems getting through these things. I mean, it's not like he stopped Dr. Wily 5 times before this or anything. And yeah, if I didn't have 9 energy tanks, I wouldn't have done that, but I do. So let's just get going here. And get rid of you. And see, this part's a little bit tricky because of the narrow spaces. Alright, well, I'll just, well, you know what, since we're here, I might as well just show off the other pathway. And yeah, this is pretty much what you're getting yourself into. Not sure which one's shorter. I have to check that out if I'm doing a race of this game. Which I'm probably not. Let's see, yeah, that's pretty much all you have to worry about. Oh, you have to wonder what kind of sick level designer decided to do that too. Cowboy robots. All they are is doomed to stand on narrow platforms and fire away for the rest of their lives. But then again, they are robots, so who really cares? Okay, well, the block's still there. It's actually a pretty nice touch. Let's just get things out of the way here. And yeah, we are almost up to Mr. X, so let us break out this. And then go ahead and switch on us. Yeah, I am gonna end up getting hit a few times here just because I don't feel like falling again. But here we are to confront the weirdo himself, Mr. X. And his weakness is a Flame Blast, but I like using the Rush Power better. So to defeat this ship, we're gonna play some high-octane Tetherball. And jump over fireballs. And just like so. And just pound the hell out of his ship. Which is something that works pretty well if you ask me. I also have no idea what I'm gonna name this video yet. And absolutely nobody is surprised, except for Mega Man. But then again, let's talk about logic in Mega Man games some more. So it turns out that Dr. Wily was just disguising himself and trying to host an international robot tournament and trying to take over the world that way. Yeah, this is a Mega Man game, by the way. Let's see, with all that, I am going to call it a video. Also, for my favorite names for this video, or for those types of videos, still think my favorite one is Gemini Lasers. My scheme to disguise myself in a fake beard and sunglasses has failed. But, with all that said, I'm just gonna call this a video, so join me next time as we take out Dr. Wily for the 6th time. I will see you then.